Most of us remember the Choose Your Own Adventure books. The story gave you options and you decided what happened next. Now, there's a way to create your own nonlinear stories and share them with people all over the world. My name is Lauren Malone, and this is a graduate student's guide to Twine. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you Twine's basic interface and how to begin writing your story. When you first open Twine, you'll see this library pane. The default setting lists your stories by the date of last edit, but you can change it to list them by the story name in this upper right-hand corner. To the right-hand side of the screen, you have a short menu, which allows you to add a story, import an old story, archive what you have, change the format, which simply changes the look of the story once you've built it, change the language, and access the help site. To edit a story, simply click on the icon, and it will open up your editing pane. To get back to the library, all you have to do is come to the bottom left-hand corner and click on the Home button. To begin writing a new story, you'll come up to the green Add Story button and click on it. And here's where you will title your story. This is easy to change later, so just give it any title for now. And click Add. So before we start writing our story, we need to take a look at the menu that is found on the bottom of the screen. Again, to get back to the library, we click the Home button that's here. Right next to it, we have a menu that mostly deals with editing the story and changing the formats, giving you options for that. We don't need it right now, but it's important to remember that it's there. And over here we have the Quick Find. So this is for when you have over 50 of these little boxes on your screen and you want to find where you put a certain scene. It lets you search both by passage title and by excerpt. The boxes to the right of the Quick Find are different ways of viewing your story as you continue to write it. Right now we have it set to show both the titles and the passage itself. If you choose this middle option, it will show just the titles. And if you choose this last option, it shows you the structure. We don't have too much right now, but as we continue to write our story, it will start to look more and more like a flowchart. We're going to set it back to see the passage. Right here we have a button that will allow you to test your story without having to build it fully. And here is when you're done with the story and you're ready to build it, it's ready to play. You can click play. This button adds another text box for you to work with. And when you hover over the text boxes, you have another menu where you can delete, edit, test the story starting from that particular box, or set that box as the starting point. Our starting point's up here, so we're going to double click and get writing. So the first thing we need to do when we are starting to write is title our passage. I'm just going to give it the generic title of Start. You used to have to in the old version of Twine. We're going to keep with tradition. And next I'm going to tag this. So tagging is just another way of keeping track of your different passages. I'm going to tag mine neutral, and for my story that just means that the options that I'm giving are not necessarily good or not necessarily bad. And here we can double click or highlight and start to write. And here's where you can start to give your reader options. So to do that, you want to do open brackets and then close them. It turns blue so you know that the link works. And I want to give my reader one more option, so we'll do that. So now my reader can play as either a guard or a doctor. When you close out of it, you'll see that 2 new passages have been created for you. And you'll see that they have the titles that you gave them in the links. Now you'll know that something has gone wrong if any of the boxes turn red, specifically any of the boxes that you were just working on. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete one of these. And you see that the box turns red. To fix it, all you have to do is come down here, add a passage, and here's why it's important to keep up with the titles. You have to title it exactly what you called it in the link. And then when you close it, it'll add it with the arrow. So now you have the beginning of your story and you can continue to write. The easiest way to do this is to focus on one storyline at a time and not jump back and forth between the options you're giving your players. In the next tutorial, we'll look at writing positive options versus negative options. Those are links that are going to advance the story versus the links that end the story. And I'll show you what those look like in the test window. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.